Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
This is All India Radio. Good evening and welcome to this edition of Market Mantra, in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I am Gaurang Dhawadlal and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत। प्रतिदिन की तरह आज भी हम देश और दुनिया से आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार के ताजा समाचार आप तक लाएंगे और उन पर चर्चा भी करेंगे। चर्चा के लिए आज स्टूडियो में आमंत्रित हैं रूरल वॉइस के संपादक हरवीर सिंह। हरवीर जी नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत।
नमस्कार, शुक्रिया।
और सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस के साथ हैं गौरा धवनलाल।
Thank you, Vishal, and welcome Harveer ji to the program. A quick look at the headlines. Domestic stocks witness losses of more than 1% amid mixed global cues. Sensex finishes below 61,100 points. Nifty settles below the 18,200 level. RBI governor warns against crypto trading, says that it poses an inherent risk to the economy and financial stability of the country. And gold rises to trade near the 55,000 rupees per 10 gram mark for February contract at the MCX.
वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों में कमजोरी के बीच घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में 1% से अधिक की गिरावट। सेंसेक्स 61,100 अंक से नीचे हुआ बंद। निफ्टी 18,200 के स्तर से नीचे आया। भारतीय रिजर्व बैंक के गवर्नर ने क्रिप्टो करेंसी कारोबार पर दी चेतावनी। कहा, क्रिप्टो करेंसी देश की अर्थव्यवस्था और वित्तीय स्थिरता के लिए खतरा। और एमसीएक्स पर फरवरी अनुबंध के सोने का वायदा भाव बढ़कर 55,000 प्रति 10 ग्राम के करीब पहुंचा। शुरुआत शेयर बाजार से करते हैं कार्यक्रम में। वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों में कमजोरी के बीच प्रमुख घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में आज 1% से अधिक की गिरावट दर्ज हुई। सेंसेक्स 61,100 अंक से नीचे बंद हुआ, जबकि निफ्टी 18,200 के स्तर से नीचे आ गया। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 635 अंक लुढ़ककर 61,065 पर बंद हुआ। नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी भी 185 अंक फिसलकर 18,199 पर आ गया। व्यापक बाजार का प्रदर्शन सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी से भी कमजोर रहा। बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स 1.4% और स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स 2.18% की गिरावट में रहे।
The BSE Sensex and the NSE Nifty today witnessed losses of more than 1%. An index of the top 30 companies, the Sensex, closed below 61,100 points, while the Nifty, an index of the top 50 companies, ended below the 18,200 level. Both indices declined amid mixed cues from global share markets. The Sensex fell 635 points to settle at 61,065. The Nifty also slipped 185 points to finish at 18,199. In the broader market at the BSE, the mid-cap index declined 1.40% and the small-cap index ended 2.18% down. In the Sensex pack, 7 companies posted gains, while 23 logged losses. Sun Pharma was the top gainer as it added 1.7%, followed by HCL Tech, which went up by 1%. Nestle India gained 0.9% and Tech Mahindra added 0.8%. On the other hand, IndusInd Bank declined 2.3%. Maruti and Ultratech Cement both slipped 2% each, and Bajaj Finserv fell 1.9%. In sectoral indices at the BSE, 18 sectors fell, while 2 logged gains. The healthcare sector gained 2.3% and the IT index added 0.2%. On the other side, the utility sector declined 2.5% and the power index fell 2.4%. Services and telecom, both indices plunged 2.3% each. The overall breadth of the BSE trade was negative as shares of 2,841 companies gained while 731 fell. Shares of 92 companies remained unchanged. Harveer ji, we normally see by mid-December there is, of course, Christmas holidays come up in the Western world, and the Indian markets are affected accordingly. This time, do you see a change?
Yeah, actually, you are right that around this time when this is the holiday season in the Western world, and the activity from the funds and FPIs and FIs becomes slow around these days, and always market sees this kind of changes. But this time, the recent surge of COVID in China, a new variant of COVID is, I think, sending some wrong signal to the global, basically globally, and there is a disruption in China on supply side due to this COVID surge. And earlier China went with that zero COVID policy and very strict lockdowns, but there was some opposition to that from their own citizens, and there are many problems, and they just eased it.
Right.
And but easing out that also bringing large number of COVID cases. So it's a double-edged sword kind of things. When you are having very tight control, that was also affecting. But when you basically made this some relaxation, that is also creating problem. It looks like that, and the threat of new virus is also being felt by different countries.
जी, तो ये कोविड का जिस तरीके से महामारी का फिर से एक बार खतरा मंडरा रहा है, आपको लगता है कि ये अभी बाजार में इसका असर आगे भी जारी रहेगा?
देखिए, अभी मेरे ख्याल से एक तो बहुत ज्यादा केसेस चाइना में हैं और यूएस में भी कुछ केसेस बढ़े हैं, तो अभी हमें देखना, थोड़ा सा अभी मेरे ख्याल से इंतजार करना चाहिए कि ये क्या, इसका इम्पैक्ट लॉन्ग टर्म कुछ ज्यादा मार्केट के ऊपर जाएगा क्या। क्योंकि अगर हम देखें पिछले कुछ महीनों में से चीन में केसेस बढ़े थे और वहां स्ट्रिक्ट लॉकडाउन से सब हुए, बट जो मार्केट्स हैं उनका परफॉर्मेंस से बहुत ज्यादा नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट नहीं है। इनफैक्ट हमारे यहाँ तो मार्केट ने बेटर परफॉर्म किया। सो देयर आर मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स। जैसे ग्लोबली इन्फ्लेशन का बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था, बट इन्फ्लेशन इज कमिंग डाउन, और जो रेट इंटरेस्ट का जो इंक्रीज करने का जो भी पॉलिसी रेट्स का था वो थोड़ा सा उस पर ईज होने का, जैसे हमने भी अभी इस बार जो मॉनिटरिंग पॉलिसी कमेटी ने जो एक तरीके से जो स्टांस तो बढ़ने का रखा, बट उसको स्लो कर दिया पेस को, या उसका लेवल कम कर दिया। सो दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉजिटिव साइन, एंड उसको इकोनॉमीज ने और मार्केट ने उसी तरह लिया भी था। सो दिस इज वन फैक्टर, बट डेफिनेटली ये थोड़ा सा चिंताजनक ये एक है जो कोविड का सर्ज है उसको लेकर के।
जी, अमूमन देखा ये जाता है कि दिसंबर के महीने में एफपीआईज जो हैं बाजारों से पैसा निकालते हैं, और इस बार ये देखने में आ रहा है कि जुलाई, अगस्त और नवंबर, दिसंबर के महीने जो हैं इसमें एफपीआईज ने अच्छा खासा निवेश किया है भारतीय बाजारों में। और अब आपको क्या लगता है कि एफपीआईज का क्या रुख रहने वाला है?
देखिए, जो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर है, एफपीआई एंड एफआईज दोनों कैटेगरी जो है, उनका है कि रिटर्न कहां से आ रहा है उनको मार्केट में। ठीक है, तो कुछ महीने पहले उनका काफी एग्जिट हुआ था, लेकिन फिर एंट्री हुई है और उसने मार्केट को सपोर्ट किया है। सो अगर उनको लगता है कि यहाँ वैल्यू बाइंग है और जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है उसके ऊपर बेनिफिट्स हैं, क्योंकि इंटरेस्ट रेट, रुपी डेप्रिसिएशन, ये भी था, पर डॉलर अगर उनको ज्यादा वैल्यू मिल रही है वो भी एक अट्रैक्शन है। और ये जो एफआईज एफआईज के जो फंड जो इनका है रिसोर्सेज, वो बहुत ही थिन मार्जिन के ऊपर चलता है, क्योंकि वेस्ट में यूजुअली इंटरेस्ट रेट बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होते। सो इन दैट केस वो इस बात को इवेल्युएट करते हैं जब उनको लगा कि अभी इंडियन मार्केट में वैल्यू बाइंग है, तो उन्होंने, अगर हम देखें, फिर से री इन्वेस्टमेंट करना शुरू किया और वो काफी उनका इन्वेस्टमेंट आया और उससे मार्केट को बूस्ट भी मिला।
राइट, हरवीर जी, नॉर्मली सो दिस mass withdrawal, they used to withdraw their money in the Christmas season and re-enter again. So the market used to fall down. They got very good deals and very good buys. Do you think that somewhere they feel that DIIs and retail investors have enough strength and resilience in themselves to not let the market fall that much, and they might just get a higher price, so they're not getting out?
No, actually, in the recent past, we have seen that. Okay. When FIs and FPIs were withdrawing from Indian market did not fall like that, because the base of the market has increased. The number of demat accounts has gone up. and number of investors are being added to the market, and if we see the flow through mutual fund has gone up, so it means then for investors, market become a very attractive destination. So, and DIs also were in a good position to make money, and they have funds to invest. In all asset class, market was performing better than any other.
Okay.
Like real estate or FDs. We have seen some increase due to policy rate upward changes. Now FD rates are also up. But even prior to that, if you see, the performance of the market was better. So that's why if we see that individual investors, basically what DIs are doing, that is also coming through individual. They are also buying their policies and bonds. And so if they feel that there is a good return from the market, that's why they are entering the market. And now we have a bigger base, basically. So it is not necessary that whenever these FIs and FPIs will withdraw some funds from the market, that it will directly affect the market on the negative side. Now it is not, I think it is not necessary.
जी, आज जो 635 अंकों की गिरावट हम सेंसेक्स में देख रहे हैं, कारण यही बताया जा रहा है। आपने भी कहा कि कोविड का जो बढ़ता खतरा फिर से एक बार सामने दिखाई दे रहा है। ऐसे में हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर्स के आज शेयर्स जो हैं वो 2.3% ऊपर चढ़े हैं। कैसा भविष्य देख रहे हो आप हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर के शेयर्स का?
देखिए, ये तो जो हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर है, एक सेंटिमेंट, बेसिकली मार्केट तो सेंटिमेंट से चलता है। तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि कोविड का अभी हम केसेस देख रहे हैं चाइना में, पहले भी हुआ है और उसका एक वेरिएंट भी आया। तो बहुत सारे वेरिएंट आए हैं कोविड के। कुछ शुरू के वेरिएंट काफी खतरनाक रहे लोगों के लिए, बट उसके बाद उनको बाकी पे कंट्रोल होता रहा। सो और अभी बहुत कुछ लोग समझ चुके हैं, और नाउ दिस इज नॉट द कोविड विच वाज इन 20s और 21। सो ऑलरेडी वैक्सीनेशन हुआ है, बूस्टर डोज लगा है, प्रोटोकॉल्स बने हैं ट्रीटमेंट के, एंड उस तरीके का फियर नहीं है, बिकॉज इफ यू गेट टाइमली ट्रीटमेंट एंड राइट ट्रीटमेंट, सो यू आर गेटिंग आउट ऑफ इट वेरी वेरी फास्ट। सो ये सब फैक्टर्स हैं, तो उतना बहुत ज्यादा पैनिक नहीं है जी, उस तरीके का वो आने वाला नहीं है उस तरह से। सो डेफिनेटली दिस काइंड ऑफ पैंडेमिक इज रियली वेरी डिसरप्टिव थिंग फॉर हेल्थ सेक्टर, एंड in that case, we have seen this because market is again I'm saying that it's a sentimental thing. We will feel that this health issue is coming, so that health stocks are going up. But at the same time, we should also see that the majority, this maximum ingredients of our health industry, this active pharma ingredients, is being imported from China and some other countries, and you have to look about the rupee and that valuation also. So it is not that it is so simple game.
Raviji, you spoke of sentiment, and I think it's a very very important thing for us to understand, because we just say market is up, market is down, what is. So sometimes, and one of the major causes could be sentiment. I think that's such a valid point. So whom does sentiment affect the most? FIIs, DIIs, retail investors? I think the first trigger comes through the big, these funds and these FIIs and DIIs. Okay.
DIIs, I think, they're less concerned because they're for long term into the market. And they have seen the movement of the market, and then panic goes to individual investors.
Do you think sentiment, do you think sentiment is a tool that many people play with?
No, it is very difficult to, because sentiments, any big thing happens, it is not in the control of anybody. It is very difficult to predict. That's why market is an unpredictable place.
Yes, you can never time it.
You can never time. So that is the point. But definitely when this selling comes, then the panic, basically first this individual investors, particularly small investors, get panicked, and the selling comes from them also.
Right. So I think we will enter the new year in January on a good note, more stable note, and I think a little more self-sufficient, even in terms of the metrics and the triggers that affect the market.
You see that the Indian economy is reasonably doing well. Our numbers are on our side.
Right.
So in that case, when inflation is also getting controlled, we have seen in last week we have seen the numbers like wholesale price index come down at 21-month low. Then CPI also came down. So it means then the worry of inflation is coming down, and the growth numbers are also around 7% of GDP growth.
Right.
So there was some dip on manufacturing side, but that is also recovering. So, and we have very good normal monsoon, and sowing area is increasing for Rabi season. Kharif is reasonably good in terms of production. So the demand from rural area will come up. So it means that will also give the boost to the economy. So when economy is in good health and demand for the manufactured goods is there, and companies are making money, all these factors add value to the market.
Right. You spoke of the seasons and the harvest that we've had, and we've always traditionally been, very charged up when it's good and it makes major news and the rains are good. Do you think in that agriculture sector we're still majorly dependent on the weather and on the monsoon?
Actually, weather and the climate issues are affecting agriculture in a big way now, not only to us, but at the global level.
So it's not only monsoons, it's weather as well.
Earlier it was more and more monsoon. Definitely because our more than 50% of arable land is rain dependent. So monsoon is always a very crucial thing for Indian agriculture.
Right.
So because monsoon gives you opportunity to have more water for non-rainy season, reservoirs get full, and if there is less rainfall that it affects, and then monsoon season crops is also good if good rainfall is there. So that's why our Kharif is widespread in terms of acreage. It's a very big crop for us.
तो आपको लगता है कि जलवायु परिवर्तन के कारण मौसम चक्र में जो बदलाव हो रहे हैं उससे कहीं ना कहीं हमारी जो कृषि क्षेत्र है वो प्रभावित हो रहा है?
देखिए, अभी मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि जो जलवायु परिवर्तन है उसका कुछ कुछ असर दिखता है. जैसे हमने भी पिछले साल जब हमारी रबी का हार्वेस्ट होना था गेहूं का, उसके पहले मार्च में, फरवरी के अंत में और मार्च में अचानक टेम्परेचर बढ़ा और उसका सीधा असर हमारे प्रोडक्शन के ऊपर आया. बिकॉज एनी क्रॉप उसका एक नेचुरल प्रोसेस है, उसका एक क्लाइमेट कंडीशन है, उसी में वो ग्रो करता है.
और वो टाइमिंग इज आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट.
यस, एंड दैट टाइमिंग इज वेरी वेरी सेंसिटिव फॉर crop like wheat. And you need good temperature, low temperature around when grain filling is taking place around that time. Okay. So because sudden temperature actually rise with that around that time. So you can say that this is not a normal thing. So, and it has a direct relation with the climate change. But and we have seen late rainfall, and in some areas heavy rainfall within few days. So that is also affecting the agriculture. And again, I'm saying that it is being studied. We have to evaluate. It may take some time to exactly find out how much this climate change is affecting agriculture in our country as well as in the world. But definitely some indications are coming.
Right. Harveerji, we'll go in for a short break. When we come back, we'd want to learn more about what the RBI has said about cryptocurrency, your views on that, price of gold, where the Asian markets have gone, and the US market. But right now, we take a short break. Listeners, stay with us.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख.
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प.
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग. आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता. बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर. 8700014242.
Welcome back, everyone. We'd just like to share with you that our guest today is Mr. Harveer Singh, editor, Rural Voice. Moving on to our next story, Harveerji, it's about the RBI. The Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Shaktikant Das, has warned the public against crypto trading. He said it poses an inherent risk to the country's macroeconomic and financial stability. Speaking at an event in Mumbai this morning, the RBI governor said that the next financial crisis could come from cryptocurrency if it grows. The RBI governor highlighted the high volatility of these assets, stating that cryptocurrency is now worth $140 billion after a loss of around $40 billion this year. He also mentioned that the majority of central bankers across the world have been wary of cryptocurrencies. The governor said that central bank digital currency, the CBDC, launched on the 1st of December, is the currency of the future. He further added that logistics for CBDCs will be much simpler, and this will propel India to the forefront of digital currency in this century. A warning to, I think, trigger-happy or risk-taking investors into cryptocurrency?
Yes, actually, you see, cryptocurrency was a kind of asset which was attracting for better return. And it was an illusion kind of thing also, because it's a non-existent kind of asset.
Right.
So, in that case, it started from the West. Many of our Indian investors also burned their finger into that. And the kind of volatility you have in the value of cryptocurrency, so it is basically eroding the hard-earned wealth of investors. So, if it goes in a big way, as RBI governor also mentioned that already $40 billion loss to the investors into it, and assets are under $40 billion. And we have seen recently some other kind of development in the particularly US. One exchange got bust, and criminal cases are being filed. Even in our country also, initially it was a basically boom kind of thing and among investors, but now I don't think many people will opt for it. And one particular country allowed basically to use crypto like a normal currency, but the depreciation and inflation happened to that country was also very, it was not a good experience for that country, a small country, and I think Latin American country also. So it is a kind of, you can say, asset where you just dream to have more money.
And highly speculative.
Yes, highly speculative. And you cannot, you don't have any, basically, to measure it. How can you say that the value is like that? Without, basically, it is not attaching to an asset in that case. So I think one should remain away from it. Very rightly
also, it's in private hands, sir, and
yes,
accountability, answerability,
right.
which is the digital rupee is a completely different thing.
Digital rupee is a kind of basically virtual rupee by the system, by our central bank.
And full accountability.
But yes, definitely it's a full accountability. It will be accounted each and every rupee will also be accounted there. But here nobody knows what is there.
गवर्नर शक्तिकांत दास ने बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात कही है कि सेंट्रल बैंक डिजिटल करेंसी या ई रुपए जिसे हम कहते हैं, ये भविष्य की मुद्रा है और आने वाले वक्त में ये दुनिया में भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था को और आगे ले जाएगी.
नहीं, देखिए, काफी सारे चेंजेस हमने जो हमारे फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उसमें देखे हैं. अभी तमाम सारे इवन जो डिजिटल इस तरीके के ट्रांजैक्शंस हो रहे हैं. इफ यू सी, देयर इज नो मनी इज बीइंग एक्सचेंज्ड, बट वन इज पेइंग अनदर इज गेटिंग. अर्लियर अगर आप देखो कि ये लोग इसकी कल्पना नहीं कर पाते थे. ठीक है, दैट डे आई वाज वाचिंग ए स्मॉल वेंडर ऑन रोड साइड, and he or she just put that this barcode and you can pay, and he doesn't need any money. So it is safe also. He need not to go to any bank. He can take money. He can also make the payment through that. So this ease of doing transactions or handling money is a big thing, and it is coming through the technology, this financial technologies, and this is the next stage of the financial technology.
जी, रुक करते हैं वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों का. एशियाई शेयर बाजारों की बात करें तो आज यहां कारोबार मिला जुला रहा. सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स इंडेक्स 0.1% की मामूली बढ़त के साथ बंद हुआ. हांगकांग का हैंगसेंग 0.3% लाभ में रहा. वहीं दूसरी तरफ जापान का निकेई 0.7% नुकसान के साथ बंद हुआ. चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स और दक्षिण कोरिया का कोस्पी दोनों 0.2% की गिरावट के साथ बंद हुए. यूरोपीय शेयर बाजारों में अंतर्दिवसीय कारोबार के दौरान तेजी का रुख था। फ्रांस का कैक 0.7%, लंदन का FTSE 100 0.8% और जर्मनी का डेक्स 1% की बढ़त के साथ कारोबार कर रहे थे।
In the US market, stocks closed higher yesterday with a modest reversal of a 4-day sell-off. However, bond yields jumped in the wake of an unexpected policy pivot from the Bank of Japan. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.3%, the S&P 500 added 0.1%, and the Nasdaq Composite ended almost flat. In oil prices, they rose today after data suggested a larger than expected draw in U.S. crude stockpiles, but gains were capped by growing concerns over demand in China and a snowstorm that is expected to hit U.S. travel. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at $81.40 per barrel, while WTI crude prices were at $77.60 per barrel. Harveerji, winters in the western sector and of course in northern parts of India, energy demand, consumption all going up. China, of course, now struggling with which policy to follow on COVID, whether it should be like a total COVID lockdown. Where do you think the prices of oil are likely to go?
Actually, the one major factor for energy prices is this Russia-Ukraine conflict and the export of energy product to Europe. That is a conflict there. They are also making a ceiling on the price. Even gas prices also they put some upper limit also to stop the volatility. And because the winter is at peak and this Europe and the US, actually in winters always there is huge increase in the demand of energy, and this time it is a restricted supply also.
Yes.
So that is affecting. I think in our case, because crude prices in recent past just eased out, so it's not too much, and we don't have that kind of basically winter like European countries have. So we will see that what the way global prices of crude goes. So and you mentioned rightly that China is also basically the second biggest consumer of energy after US. So in that case, it will depend this COVID, which way this COVID surge goes, whether they are able to control or it will affect, because it will directly affect the consumption of energy, particularly for industrial use and establishment use.
You're
in
right.
that case.
Absolutely.
और बात करते हैं सोने चांदी की कीमतों की। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज पर सोने का फरवरी अनुबंध के सोने का वायदा भाव आज 60 रुपए बढ़कर 54,960 रुपए पर प्रति 10 ग्राम पर पहुंच गया। मार्च अनुबंध की चांदी थोड़ी सी टूटी और 150 रुपए की गिरावट से 69,490 रुपए प्रति किलोग्राम के स्तर पर कारोबार कर रही थी। उधर न्यूयॉर्क मर्केंटाइल एक्सचेंज में सोना गिरावट के साथ $1,824.30 प्रति औंस, जबकि चांदी $24.15 प्रति औंस पर कारोबार कर रहे थे। हरवीर जी, इस सोने की कीमतों को देखें तो पिछले 2-3 महीनों में हम देख रहे हैं कि ये 50,000 से चल के अब 55,000 के आसपास पहुंच रही है। सोने में क्या ट्रेंड देख रहे हैं अब आप?
मुझे लगता है कि लोगों को शायद जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उन्हें लगता है कि एक अपॉर्चुनिटी फिर से गोल्ड में इन्वेस्टमेंट की है, क्योंकि अभी देखिए कोई ऐसा मैरिज सीजन वगैरह का वो भी उस तरह का पीक नहीं है अब हमारे यहाँ भी, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ ये इस तरह के सीजन में ज्यादा डिमांड निकलती है। और क्योंकि गोल्ड अभी भी जहां पहुंचा था उसके आसपास अभी जा रहा है,
बिल्कुल,
और उसमें शायद लगता है लोगों को कि उसको क्रॉस करेगा।
एब्सोल्युटली।
हरवीर जी, आप कार्यक्रम में शामिल हुए और इतनी महत्वपूर्ण चर्चा की, इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Harveer ji. And now, before we close, a reminder of the headlines. Domestic stocks witnessed losses of more than 1% amid mixed global cues. Sensex finishes below the 61,000 point level. Nifty settles below the 18,200 level. RBI governor warns against crypto trading, says it poses an inherent risk to the economy and financial stability of the country. And gold rises to trade near the 55,000 rupee per 10 gram mark for February contracts at the MCX. And that's it in this edition. For now, namaskar.
Market Master.